Yeah, man. How you doing? All right.
Captain of the Color Guard, please advance and post the colors of our nation. And salute.
Guard, halt, right face, post, colors. Present arms.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready, two, left face, forward, march.
Post chaplain. Uncover.
Bow our heads. Bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come back to you again tonight to give you praise for all the good things that you continue to do for this post. And we ask that you be with us tonight for the officers' installation, and we'll come back to you at the end of the night's program. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Recover. Join me in reciting the American Legion preamble. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for common purposes to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our association and all wars, to inculcate a sense of individual obligation to the community, state, and nation, to combat the autocracy of both the classes and the masses, to make right the master of life, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. I now declare American Legion Post 233, Department of Georgia, regularly convened. Post Adjutant, do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir, we have.
Thank you. Post Adjutant will provide a brief reading of the last meeting's minutes.
Very brief. Hopefully you all have a copy. If you look on the front page under D, the dues have gone up to $35. And unfortunately, there was a little snafu somewhere along the line. And the invoices that went out were requesting $30, which we got a lot of renewals of $30. So there's a bucket back on the counter, that red, white, blue flag bucket. If it would behoove you and you feel good in your heart about putting $5 in there, if you paid $30 and help us make up some of the difference, because we're actually losing money at this point. And if we turn the page there, post membership operations under A there, we ended up with 411 renewals, 34 new members, which I think was tremendous. And we had 29 paid up for life. Legion Riders report is attached. You can check that out. Stealing Jerry's thunder as usual. Next blood drive is this Thursday. And Tom has sent in his legislative report, which is attached. And keep in mind the Veterans Outreach and buddy calls. We have Nelson and Glenn who are doing that, and they can certainly use some help. And that should be about all the highlights of the minutes. Any corrections, comments?
I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as published. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Yes.
This is for you, so this now.
Okay. At this point, we're going to take about a 5-minute break and get prepared to do the installation of the new officers. So take 5, but no more than 5. Thank you.
Officers to be installed will line up to our installers right to left, starting with commander, senior, junior, and vice. Okay.
No, you have to line up now. Just get to that point.
I want to take this time to say thank you for all the support the last couple of years. It's been a real ride.
Just remember, Laura, is like this, so everything FedEx. Good. Remember, you got about 35 minutes when you walk in there, make sure they know that what's on the word. Now, how you feel about it? Control the narrative. I don't care what you say, I'm worth my $35 a year.
But you know what I like about emails? I can write a whole email, grab it, put it in AI and say, right, make them around you. I love it. Because my thoughts, you know, sometimes I can write it all out, cut it, and just put it in chat. Thank you. I go back to whatever. I just figured that about me. Huh? Oh. A lot of gold. Want to see somebody take this? Think you pick with it. Around some of that cheese stuff.
All right, we'll get this going. Evening, family. If you would now, would the elected officers please come and stand in front of me from my right, Commander, Senior Vice, all the way down the line.
Al, Glenn,
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
You got anybody else that's not here? Yes, okay, stand in for me.
No, Tom. Come stand in.
Yeah, somebody, stand in for me. Okay?
Got a bunch of high knees here.
Susan.
You can stand in.
Yeah, there you go.
No, Mike, actually, Mike's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're supposed to be out here anyhow.
Yeah, Mike is supposed to be down there.
You can get down there, yeah. All right. My fellow legionnaires, you have been chosen to fill the various officers of this post, 233. I know you will be vindicated the trust that has been placed in you. I know you will fulfill every obligation required to you. Familiarize yourself with the duties of the office and carry out those duties with the same spirit from which arose the American Legion. The welfare and success of this post depends on you, as does the preservation of this integrity of the American Legion. Protect the good name of the American Legion with the people of our great nations. Help them to know the Legion's purpose, policies. Remember the tolerance that emanates us from members. Remember there is no rank among us. We all serve as equals. We all are aimed for the same goal, the ideas of justice, freedom, and democracy and loyalty. Remember, too, the cardinal principle of the American Legion are the rehabilitation of our disabled veterans, care for the dependents of those who have answered the final call, care for those who are suffering from wounds, disease, and want, the education of our children, and the service to our community, state, and nation. If you would, please raise your right hand and say as give your names and repeat after me. I, Rick Ball, do solemnly pledge to perform faithfully and impartially
perform faithfully and impartially
the duties of the office of the American Legion.
the duties of the office of the American Legion.
I'm about to assume.
I am about to assume.
I further pledge
I further pledge
I'm not a member of
that I am not a member of
and do not subscribe to
and do not subscribe to
the principles of any group
the principles of any group
opposed to our form of government.
opposed to our form of government.
Hands down. Commander, you have just completed a year of service to the American Legion and to the Post 233. The records of the post indicates the quality of your service. It is my hope and the things that you have learned about the American Legion and experience you gained will be available to those who follow on. On behalf of the Department Commander, Jim Foltz, I thank you for the splendid service you have rendered to the American Legion. Thank you. To the new commander, are entrusted with a very important duty. You must teach and protect the cardinal principles of the American Legion throughout your post. You are entrusted with the supervision of the duties of all office of your post. The poor and the troubled will come to you. You must see that no veteran is turned away without full justice. Loyalty to your post, to its membership, to the state and national organization are obligations which you now assume. You are more than just a presiding officer of the meeting. You are guided by the Constitution and the decisions of the post body. Yet the responsibilities of the year's programs is on your shoulders. You must initiate programs and carry them through to completion. You must familiarize yourself with the traditions of the post and the American Legion. By your sincere acceptance and earnest performance of these duties, may the trust of the fellow Legionnaires at every post and injustice in you be justified. I extend my congratulations from the Department of Georgia, Commander Jim Foltz, and I wish you well as you assume the responsibilities of your office. If you would please turn and face the audience. Fellow Legionnaires, I present to you the 2025 officers for Post 233. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for taking the time and trouble to come here and do this for us. I just saw you Saturday.
No problem.
It's nice to see you again. At this time, I would ask, we'll do the sons next. George, great. Can you please come forward and you'll install the sons. Thank you, sir.
Okay, will the officers to be installed for the Sons of the American Legion come forward? Commander to the right, and then senior vice, junior vice, adjutant, chaplain, all of the officers that are here to be installed. Finance officer, of course. We always want to keep the finances. And first, I want to thank the Post for once again allowing me to come and be a part of this ceremony. Thank you. All right, gentlemen, you've been chosen to fill the various offices of the squadron. You will, I know, vindicate the trust that has been reposed in you and fulfill in every way the obligations that that trust entails. You will at once familiarize yourselves with the duties of the particular office you will proceed upon, and the duties in the same spirit of devotion and endeavor that characterized your father's service in all the wars, out of which came their basis for membership in the American Legion and your own in the Sons of the American Legion. And just as an aside, I told the new commander he only has a 300-page manual that he has to go through, starting tonight. You must know that the welfare and success of the squadron depends on you. And you must know also that upon your shoulders equally rests the burden of preserving the integrity of the Sons of the American Legion. You must protect and advance his good name before the people of the community, state, and nation. You must exalt it in their eyes. You must make them know, as we know, his purposes and his policies. Forever remember the tolerant spirit that animates its members. There's no rank among us. For each of us serves as an equal to his comrade, and all strive toward the same goal, which is the realization in the life of the Republic of the ideals of justice, freedom, and democracy, and loyalty. Forever remember that the cardinal purposes of the Sons of the American Legion are the care of the dependents of those who have answered the final call, and of those who are now suffering from disease and want, and the rightful education of their children of our country, and devoted service to the community, state, and nation. One thing that's not a part of this that I learned from Commander Schaefer when he was Seaacre when he was in town is what the American Legion family does. We change lives and we save lives. That's what we do. Now, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. As I state my name, you say your name. I, George Gray, do solemnly pledge myself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of the office in the Sons of the American Legion I am about to assume. And I further pledge I am not a member of and do not subscribe to the principles of any groups opposed to our form of government. Okay, you put your hands in. Commander, to you is entrusted a very sacred duty, that of teaching and protecting the cardinal principles of the Sons of the American Legion throughout the entire squadron. To you is entrusted supervision of the duties of all the officers of the squadron. To you will come the indigent and the distressed, and it is your duty to see that no worthy comrade is turned away without justice. It is your duty to see that freedom is ever the watchword of those with whom you may come in contact with. Loyalty to the squadron, to its membership, to the American Legion are requirements which you now assume. You're more than the presiding officer of me. You're guided by the Constitution and by the decision of the squadron as a body. Yet the responsibility for the failure or the success of the year's programs is largely on your shoulders. You must initiate and carry programs through to completion. You must thoroughly familiarize yourself with the policies and traditions of your squadron and of the Sons of the American Legion. To you, I extend congratulations. Congratulations to the American Legion, to State Commander Brian Shedd from the Sons, and I wish you well as you assume the duties. Y'all turn around. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the officers that you've chosen for your Sons of American Legion. I congratulate you on your success, on your selections. And now that you've chosen, you need to help. So with that, they are currently installed, and you should welcome them and be willing to stand and help them. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Mr. Gray. Aren't you running for an office?
I am.
Not that I'm being a politician or anything.
I have submitted a resolution to become a national commander for the Sons. National Flight Commander.
shall we install the officers for the Legion Riders, please, sir?
Well, thank you for having me again here this year. My name is Robert Wilson. I'm the 10th District Director for the American Legion Riders. The American Legion Riders chapters are well known for their charitable work, which raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the children's hospitals. We're going to do this a little bit different. I personalize mine, okay? Thank you, though. The American Legion Riders chapters are well known for charitable work, which raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for children's hospitals, schools, veterans' homes, severely wounded service members, and scholarships. All American Legion Rider groups must uphold and declare the principles of the American Legion, as well as conform to and abide by the regulations and decisions of the department, post, or other duly constituted department governing body. At the last state convention, I was proud to report District 10 quarterly Americanism reports. We have 143 members, 90 Legionnaires, 26 sons, and 27 auxiliary members. We rode over 54,597 miles, 3,095 hours, with a total of 673 riders participating, with a total of 239 reported missions. This includes, but not limited to, flag lines, funerals, meetings, hospital visits, escorts, assisted living visits, veteran appreciation, and fundraising. ALR Post 233. Out of that report, ALR Post 233 reported 34 missions, 12,261 miles, 410 hours, 32 riders' participation, and 40 missions. This included the Ride for America. That's awesome. And many of your Legionnaires are dual members. As I call your name, please form a line in the front of me, beginning on the right and forming to the left. Your new director, Daniel McFalls. Your assistant director, Kate McFalls. Treasurer, Nina Williams. Secretary, Sarah Boyd. Sergeant at Arms, Paul Williams. Road Captain, Neil Dearborn. Activities Officer, Crystal Wilson. Oh, she's here. Safety Officer, Andrew Henry. Judge Advocate, Ordia Brown. Chaplain, Stan Malden. Historian, Tom Williams. And Webmaster, Kate McFalls. And the reason I personalize that, I met and was mentored by many members of 233 17 years ago. And it started a chapter in the state of Georgia. And it put me where, well, Stan actually did it, but it put me where I am now. It kind of threw me under the bus. Y'all be careful of that one. But it's been a blessing, and the family that I have right here, and the families and friendships that we have created at 233, I can't tell you what 233 really means to me. I mean, y'all are a blessing. You're part of my family. My fellow Legion Riders, you have been chosen to fill the various offices of the Legion Riders of Loganville Post 233. Familiarize yourself with the duties of the offices and carry out those duties with the same spirit from which arose the American Legion family. The Legion Riders consist of all affiliated American Legion organizations, Legionnaires, Auxiliary, and Sons of the American Legion. The welfare and success of this organization depends on you, as does the preservation of integrity of the American Legion. Protect the good name of the American Legion Riders with the people of our great nation. Help them to know the Legion's purpose and policies. Remember the tolerance that animates us as members. Remember there is no rank among us, for we all serve as equals. We all are aiming for the same goals, the ideals for justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty. Remember, too, the cardinal principles of the American Legion, the rehabilitation of all disabled veterans, the care of the dependents of those who have answered the final call, the care of those who are now suffering from wounds, disease, and want, the education of our children, and service to the community, state, and nation. At this time, I'd like you all to raise your right hand. Repeat after me. Say your name where I say mine. I, Robert Wilson, do solemnly pledge myself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of the office of the American Legion Riders I am about to assume. I further pledge I am not a member of and do not subscribe to the principles of any group opposed to our form of government.
Principles of any group opposed to our form of government.
Please drop your hands. To you, Director and Assistant Director. These are two very near and dear. Daniel's mom, I worked with her for many years when he was still in high school. So this tells you how close the family is. To the McFalls, you are entrusted very important duties. You must teach and protect the cardinal principles of the American Legion throughout your group. You are entrusted with the supervision of the duties of all officers of the Legion Riders. The poor and troubled will come to you, and you must see no veterans turned away without full justice. Loyalty to Post 233 LR, to its membership, to the DOG and national organization are obligations which you now assume. You are more than the presiding officers of the meetings. You are guided by the Constitution and bylaws and the decisions of the group. Yet the responsibilities of the year's program is on your shoulders. You must initiate programs and carry them through to completion. You must familiarize yourself with the traditions of your post in the American Legion. By your sincere acceptance and earnest performance of these duties, may the trust of your fellow riders have entrusted in you be justified. I extend to you congratulations from the Department of Georgia, District 10, and I wish you well as you assume the responsibilities of your office. Can I ask you to do a 180? About face. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the officers of your choice for the Loganville Post 233 American Legion Riders. I congratulate you on the selections you have made. You have chosen them to continue the American Legion Riders program, and now it is your duty to aid them in every way possible. And riders, you ride hard, long, ride safe for the principles and ideas of the American Legion family. Congratulations.
Relax now, kid. Yeah. Thank you, Robert, for coming over here. I remember when 163 started. I didn't realize I'd been here that long. 17 years, it says on my card. It's like, how'd that happen? It's amazing. I had all this stuff written down for my commander's report. I'd like to thank all of the previous commanders. If you would please stand, starting with our immediate past president, Mike Burwell, Stan Malden, and Tom Williams, if Jim Carmona, and Bill Dole were here, I'd ask them the same thing. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Let me say that it has been a harried month and a half since you have put me in this slot. And Tom has called and laughed at me a few times. And well deserved, because I was his finance officer as well as all these other guys. So I've been doing this a while, and you'd think by now I would know exactly what to do at all times, but I hope that some of you will take the plunge and learn this post well enough so that you can serve it and as a commander. So I'd like to talk to you about what we do here, how I envision what this post is. We're here to help others, but we have to help ourselves first. And we need to nurture the beast, so to speak. It's going to keep all this stuff alive. And we've heard this time and again, and I'll say it, that without your work, our work together, that the post cannot continue to function. I spent some time talking with Ricky about this, and I enjoyed very much the meeting that I attended this past Saturday of all the other district post commanders and adjutants and whoever else could be there. It was a real learning experience, just like the past commanders have told me. Go and you'll learn a lot about what in the world the American Legion is really about. And it's really about helping others and Americanism. So, how can we make that happen here as a post? Last week I found some challenge coins in the neat desk that Mike kept. And mine is worse. I'll give you that. And I put the challenge coins up in our display case because they don't do me or anyone else any good sitting in a box. They should at least be seen or passed on. So I'm going to issue kind of a challenge to all of you. But I'm not going to give you a coin because I don't have that many coins. But I am going to issue a challenge to all of you to become more involved in the growth of this post. All these commanders before me have led up to this. This is nothing that I've come up with that's new or anything else, but I'm going to kind of delve out, as Jim Dennis would tell me, out into the weeds. And I'm going to ask you to really be a functioning part of the post. Not be the first one here who goes to the back and gets your desserts before, to be sure that you get a good one. Or it comes to the meetings and as soon as it's over, then we leave. So here's how we're going to do this. First of all, I'm going to propose that we not have so many spoken reports. I know that they're interesting to the people who give them and that they're required. But if we can walk out of here with a piece of paper that's got pictures on it and a script on it, and you take it with you, the chances are good that it might even register you of something that another group is doing that maybe you'd be interested in doing too. As opposed to, okay, I've got all of those reports and I had no idea what they said. That's not to belittle the reports that are given. It's just that they're boring if you're not the one that's doing the activity. I want you to do the activity. I want all of us to do the activities together. And I want you to determine what the activities are. So, with that being said, Steve, would you go around and number all the people to 6 and across the... Okay. So, and you have to remember your number, okay? Don't swap with somebody. He's going to give you 1 through 6. That's going to be your number. And don't do them randomly, Steve. Just, do them in a row. Just 6 numbers, Steve. Not any higher. Okay, just 6. Okay, good. So what we're going to do is I am going to have in our post meetings on a regular basis kind of a social survey. And you're going to be those who are surveyed.
3.
Okay, 3. Yeah. It doesn't make any difference if you're in the writers or the sons. No, Tom is in charge. Okay, don't do Tom. And don't do Roy. And don't do me. Yes, Diane, you have to. You remember here too, Diane. I know that you're big cheese with it. With it.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Better remember your numbers. You got it, sir.
Where's my cheat sheet? Not yet. No. Okay. Bring my cheat sheet up here for a second. Is this it? I gave it to you.
Okay. Okay, so group number 1 is going to be Tom. Raise your hand, Tom. Okay. He's both of them. Okay. Group number 2 is going to be Ron.
Not one, sorry.
Group number 3 is going to be Al. Raise your hand, Al. Good job. Group number 4 is going to be Steve. You've already met him. He's been wandering around giving out numbers.
Right here.
Group number 5, let's see. I believe that's going to be you, Roy, because I'm missing 2 people. And group number 6 is going to be Glenn. Okay, group number 1. Your interest is veteran and post member support. Group number 2. Your interest is going to be in post social events. And then we'll give you some we've already got going here. Group number 3, that's Al. You are going to be concentrating your efforts on off-post social events. Group number 4 with Steve, interior building improvements. Group number 5, which is Roy, is grounds development. He knows nothing of this. That's okay. Group number 6 is Glenn, and that will be marketing. Okay. I purposely did not tell the people who were in charge of these groups what they were doing until an email went out to them this morning. It's not a game, but I want you to make it creative problem solving, and you'll only have, because of the time, you only have 15 minutes to talk. So here's the rules of the road. The group leaders are your facilitators, and they're going to organize and record the minutes of the discussions and suggestions. The most important aspect of being a member of the group is sharing ideas and insights regarding how the businesses can improve. No one-person domination. It's not like a group project in high school or something, or middle school, where they say, I sit back and 3 people do the work. Everybody's opinion is important, and if you don't even have a chance to state yours, I want you to write it down. I want you to stay positive, because the only way to solve problems creatively is positively. And I want you to think of growing membership and family possibilities for all ages in whatever your decisions happen to be. This is what faces the executive committee in our time when we gather. And now we need your help. So, let's say, Tom, you want to just meet with your group where you sit? Go over there. Group 1, go over there. Okay, Ron, you may